Hello and welcome. Come on in, you guys. I am getting ready. Let's see if I can turn that so it doesn't blind you guys. There we go. To talk a little bit about what's happening. Here we are in Mercury retrograde. Came into retrograde yesterday. We are going to be in retrograde for about the whole month of April. About April 1st or 2nd, Mercury goes direct, but we still will experience that shadow phase that doesn't end until about May the 15th, give or take a day or two. So, one of the things that I'm hearing from everybody is how out of balance you feel. Literally, everything is out of balance right now. With that eclipse energy coming behind us and pushing it, we're going to feel out of balance. We're going to feel a lot of brain fog. I could not string two thoughts together yesterday to save my life. I got a little bit bummed and depressed about it for a minute. But then I had to stop and think it's not me. You know, the planets are making us feel this energy, and it's intense. Thought processes will be slow. Now, Mercury controls electronic devices. Well, you've heard me say that. Think about the wiring in the brain. Why not? So, yes, Mercury retrograde can make you feel very foggy. This one in particular is going to be a little more intense. We're literally going to feel out of balance and just wonky this whole time. We go into this eclipse next week. Make sure you have your sunglasses. Make sure you have special glasses if you're going to watch it. You can burn your retina by intensely, and there's a lot of controversy about it. Some people are saying you can look at the sun because it's healing. Other people say no, because your eye contains a lens. And if you're in a survival situation and you need to take your glasses and start a fire, you can use the lens of anything. We've done it in survival camp with the bottom of a Coke bottle. It's a lens. It broke off. Maybe you can start a fire with it. If you catch the sunlight just right, you can start a fire with it. And that's kind of the intensity that we're going to be experiencing is you could start a fire with it. So the lens in your eyes are very similar to any other lens. So take precautions. Don't stare directly at the eclipse. Some people say you can use welding goggles and a welder's hood. You don't get the full feel, or you can't quite see it just as good. But make sure you get the opportunity to check it out. The 2 days before, let's see, the 6th and the 7th, you're going to feel the intensity build a little bit. People are going to become a little more agitated easily. Everybody's going to be a Karen, and it's fear. It's fear. We have nothing to be afraid of. God has us. We have nothing to be afraid. Let me repeat that. We have nothing to be afraid of because God has us, and He has this whole scenario under control. So try not to worry about it. The eclipse is on the 8th, and then the 9th and the 10th, we are going to see, I do feel we're going to see something more with water happen. And earthquake. Tsunamis often follow eclipses. Man, I am having a hard time finding words today. Thank you, Mercury direct. Or Mercury retrograde. See, I can't even do that. Mercury retrograde. There will be a little bit of some kind of water-related issue happen on the 9th and 10th, just after the eclipse. Now, the complete energy of that eclipse does not wrap up until about 6 months afterwards. So whatever gets set into play on those dates, the 6th through the 10th, with the eclipse on the 8th, whatever happens won't come into completion for about 6 months. So let's just say you happen to go to court, start in that particular time frame. You may not get an outcome until 6 months out. So no big deal. We can cope with that. So just understand that a lot of things will be, now, if you're starting to break up, starting a divorce, starting the fighting end of finishing up, it's going to be an intense 6 months for you guys. Because we are in, I do believe we are in Aries, and that is a fire sign. So it adds intensity to almost everything. That Aries energy also gives us that, the good fight. Like, I got to do this today. I'm taking this on. I'm going to get this job done. So there are a lot of things that are going to happen, good and bad. No big deal. And we're going to roll with it though, right? We're not going to let it get to us. We just said that was fear. We don't need that. Let's see what else is going to be happening here. I'm going to grab the cards and see if we can validate any of those things that I talked about here this week. April the 2nd today. Tomorrow is actually cat hair. Woohoo! Tomorrow is actually the anniversary of my son Daniel's death. It'll be 9 years and it doesn't feel like it. Any mother that has lost a child knows that that time drags on. And it doesn't get any easier. I just happen to be in a line of work that I know the signs when he's around. I can feel him. A lot of times you guys see his energy, because 99% of the time when you're seeing spirit energy and orbs flying around my videos, it's my son Daniel. All right, let's see what the cards have to say. One more, please, here. All right. Here we have the King of Wands. That's a fire sign. We just talked about we are in an Aries season, and this is a fire sign. That King of Wands is about saying, look, it's not too late to get a task started. There's something that you may wanted to have prepared better for this eclipse energy by stocking up, and you may not have. You've been worried about the finances of it. 4 of Pentacles. Like, I don't have the money to do that. Get a couple extra cans of beans. Anything you can eat out of a can's fine. Pretend you're camping. Now, the one good thing about this is everything financially that seems to be on hold right now because of the energies that were with the retrograde and the eclipse are unfounded fears. I think I just saw an orb. Did I just see an orb? Right about 9 minutes. These are unfounded fears because financially you're going to be able to regroup after the retrograde passes and before that 6 months comes into play. We also had the King of Pentacles. Again, finances. All right, Spirit's telling me to talk to you guys about having cash on hand. Make sure you have $1 bills, 5s. You don't need $1,000 in hundreds, okay? The reason being, you guys have to think these things out for yourselves, okay? Sometimes. Let's just say the grid goes out, and it's out for a couple days. You know that there is, you live in the country, not like I do. We have a lot of Amish stores and mom and pop little shops, bait shops and those kind of things. And you want to go buy something, you know that they're open and that they would sell you something. If you take a $100 bill to buy a bag of coffee or a flour or soup, whatever you might need, they may not have change for your $100 bill. They may not have change to give you the 20 change for a 20. So make sure that cash you have on hand is in small denominations. They actually teach that to Navy SEALs, that when they get deployed and they're dropped in an area, that they have small denominational money with them, just kind of for those reasons. So that's what's happening. We're kind of getting dropped into a deployment with what's happening here. And you know what? We're going to get through this. All right. We also had the Hierophant come up. A lot of people are going to be looking to clergy. You're going to be looking for guidance from your churches and your pastors. You're going to be looking for guidance from your counselors. They may not have it. Go to God. Get on your knees. It doesn't hurt to pray. I don't care what position you normally pray in. If you're seated, be seated. But don't be afraid to talk to God. Ask for strength. Ask for guidance. What do I do? God will give you signs even if you don't realize it. You're not catching them. Do you think that when my people see a cardinal come visit after the death of a loved one, that it's the loved one? They sent it. But God is the commander behind that bird. We wouldn't have had the bird if it wasn't for God. See how everything ties together? You're going to get signs and symbols from God throughout this. This is actually a good time for things to purge. A lot of negativity is going to be purged off of the planet, and a lot of fresh things are going to step into, replace some of the old things. We also had the High Priestess. That High Priestess, it literally came up and told me that I was on the right track, because that's about your intuitiveness. You guys, through this, you're going to see that you have a heightened awareness. I just mentioned the Navy SEALs. And anytime they're under stress, their intuition ramps up. I don't care what kind of reconnaissance team it happens to be, whether it's Navy SEALs, Marine Recon. I don't care what group they are. When they're under stress and pressure, when they're in the fight, their intuition is heightened. So will yours. Now, we're not going to be in that big we're not going under a firefight. There's not going to be any bullets flying over our heads. But your intuition is going to be heightened, just so that you see the signs from God. Might be a cardinal, since I brought it up. By the way, if a cardinal comes up, let me know in the comments below. All right, I am grabbing another deck here just for a couple more cards to see what the energies are and the outcomes here. I guess I need one more, please. And there it are. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Look at this. 9 of Pentacles. This 9 is saying that whatever you stocked up on is going to be perfect. You're going to get through this. And take a look. That garden that she has was in preparations for famine. Somebody told her that shit was going to hit the fan around eclipse time, and she got ready. She's got carrots and tomatoes, cabbage under her feet. But that 9 is also saying that you're going to get through this. You'll survive. You've got this. We have another king come up. There are 3 kings on the table. A lot of us are going to be looking at the males, the men that run this country and our government for guidance, and we're not going to find it from them. By the way, I just noticed as I set that card down, take a look at what's around his feet. Water. I mentioned water earlier, that we may have another another boat wreck. We might have some flooding. Currently it's raining. So for whatever reason, you're going to see that there is a little bit of water in this outcome. And last but not least, we have the 3 of Wands. Again, water. However, that 3 of Wands is about answered prayers. We're going to get through this. No biggie. All right. There you have it. I hope you guys are prepped and ready. And you know, I never leave you that I don't bless you with love and light. See you soon.